Teslagrad by Rain Games is a 2D puzzle platformer. It was released on Steam last December, and after 7 months of porting has arrived on the Wii U. Just looking at this game you can see how beautiful it is. It's hand-painted and you'd be hard-pressed to find something that looks just as good. Every frame is beautiful, and they weren't lazy at all with the art assets. There's a lot to see, and it doesn't feel recycled. It's immediately clear from the first few minutes of play that this game is overflowing with charm, and thankfully that's not all there is to it. Teslagrad is seriously well made. The game consists mostly of moving through rooms both left and right of a central core, the heart of Tesla Tower. You scale the building as you remove barriers, and thankfully you never branch far enough off that you can ever really get lost. This is a good thing since the game world is pretty massive. It is linear, but there are collectibles slightly off the beaten path if you keep your eyes peeled. There's also a map that's available on the gamepad. It's basic as you can't see any of the contents of a room, but it's helpful enough to help you figure out which is the best direction you should go in if you find yourself stuck. As you climb the tower, you get upgrades that allow you to use the powers of electricity and magnetism to solve puzzles. There are action sequences, but the game is primarily a platforming puzzler. I counted about 3 to 4 hours of puzzling, and that was with me solving most of them probably quite quickly. If you aren't that experienced, then you'll get a fair chunk more time than I did. Whilst I finished most puzzles relatively quickly, I never felt that they were easy. In fact, the game was a series of eureka moments that involved me dying a lot. There isn't any punishment for dying, and in fact if you get a collectible and immediately die, you aren't forced to get it again. Simply, you'll respawn immediately at either the start of the room or between sections in the larger environment. Done with precision, even the harder sequences are probably in the 30 to 60 second range. The puzzles and platforming are designed to test your skill rather than to feel like a grind. Then there are the bosses. They are just beautiful. I mean that in every conceivable sense. They're tough and quite puzzling. They're all technically achievable first time, since there are no unfair mechanics at play, but you will probably panic at the change of pace and botch it, as these are the only times when things are actively trying to kill you. Lengthwise, it took me about 4.5 hours to get to the standard ending, and getting the bonus ending will probably add an hour or so. I usually find myself wanting more and more out of my video games, but this is, at heart, a puzzle game, and puzzle games can't go on forever. There's only so much to discover, and this game delivers a lot in that respect. At no point did it wear thin. Teslagrad has left more of an impression on me than any game I've played recently. It has the visual appeal of Machinarium, the creativity of Portal, and the tense boss fights of, and I know this one's a bit out of left field, but Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I remember feeling a sense of sheer terror and excitement at this scene. Teslagrad brought out of me a sense of childlike wonderment, and that's really the highest praise I can give. But I'm not quite done gushing. The narrative is your standard less is more approach. You get chased a bit, and the enemies are all hunched assholes in royal red clothing. The main way the story is told is by short puppet theatre sequences, which are compelling and a bit haunting. So many ideas went into the art direction that to say that the visuals were just good would be a huge disservice. This indie title isn't just a game, it's art. And thankfully it doesn't force itself on you at all. As far as the plot's concerned, the devs have stated that they wanted the viewer to decide what it all means. Despite this, there is a canon plot outline available should you search for it. Okay, as for the bad, there's not really a whole lot to say. The game runs well generally, but it does suffer from significant frame drops at times, specifically when a room is loading from the main chamber. What this means is that frame drops are pretty much exclusively tied to the safe zones. It's a shame to see them, but they really make no difference. There's also the off-screen play, which generally runs fine, but I don't think it really suits the game. The sounds, the music, the ambient noises and effects are all so brilliant, and the visuals are so impressive that I think the game deserves 1080p rather than the 480p of the gamepad. In my brief time playing on the gamepad, I think I noticed a stutter which I hadn't noticed otherwise. Potentially another gripe is the price, which is admittedly high for an indie title on the Wii U eShop, especially in the UK. I'm torn on this one, since it'd be a lie to say that the price didn't put me off when I had no idea what the game was like. Apparently this was a result of relatively poor sales on the PC, and the fact that it took a team of 7 months to port the game. All in all, I have to encourage people to buy this game, because it's brilliant and I want more. I myself have been guilty of expecting my indie games at cutthroat prices, and the game is cheaper on PC, and mostly the same. But I can't recommend this game enough. Buy it on your Wii U and support the devs, or buy it on PC if you can't muster the funds. If you want to platform, you want to think, and you want to do it in a beautiful game world that's full of heart, then this is about as good as it gets. So that's all. Thank you for watching my video. Expect a review of Darts Up and Art of Balance in the near future, alongside of course my review of Hyrule Warriors. Click links to view my other reviews and do the whole comment, like, share and subscribe thing to support me. Goodbye.